Quillen and Ross Hussey. Are members aware of any other apologies? Okay, members. Agenda item 2, which is the minutes of the last meeting of the 10th of June. If members are content with the minutes, I'll sign them into the record. Read, thank you. There's no new colour. Yeah. Okay, members, no new correspondence, so under matters arising, which is a tabled item, and it is correspondence from the Commissioner for Public Appointments for here, which is in your tabled items. You'll see the correspondence from the Public Appointments Commissioner. In this correspondence is a response to a letter issued by the committee following a discussion at a previous committee meeting in relation to our memorandum of replies into the inquiry into the fire and rescue services. At this meeting, some members did raise concerns about an appointment of an individual member to the board of the fire service. The committee raised these concerns with the Commissioner in writing, and that's letters also in your pack. And the Commissioner has responded promptly to confirm that proper procedure.
Chair, I think I should leave the room at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Minister.
Jim, do you want to declare an interest just before you go? Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Fine.
There's still a quorum.
We're not.
We can receive information without decisions then.
Yeah. Well, we can go on, but we don't. We can't make a decision. Yeah. Members, is that okay?
Is that counted as a decision?
Sorry?
Is that not counted as a decision?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Do you want
to maybe defer?
Yeah, we'll defer this piece of business until we get to it again, okay? And just on that, bring Jim back in again, yeah. Although Jim's probably gone.
I think we're good.
Trevor's here, so.
Oh.
Drag him on.
Okay.
Hit twice.
Firstly, I'd like to welcome yourself, Kieran, and your team with you here today.
Thank you, Chair.
Trevor, we were just discussing, about to discuss the Commissioner for Public Appointments correspondence. It's a tabled item. You may want to look at that. The committee raised concerns with the Commissioner, and the Commissioner has responded to us, which he very kindly did very promptly. And he has confirmed that proper procedure was not followed in this instance. And he has confirmed that he has since taken action to prevent a failure from happening again, including the reissuing of the Code of Practice for Public Appointments and speaking to departments and independent assessors to remind them of the importance of questioning applicants for public appointments about any matters that relate to them in the public domain, which could indicate a potential problem relating to matters of conflict of interest or probity. And I know members have an interest in this. Kieran, do you want to make a comment in relation to the correspondence from the appointments?
Well, clearly the Commissioner was not happy with the process in this particular case. I'd be interested more in the systemic issue, just around where there are conflicts of interest, that they're properly explored in general terms before appointments are made. As public bodies right across the system have from time to time got into bother where a conflict has emerged after an appointment was made but not properly explored at the outset. That was one of the reasons my office actually produced a good practice guide on conflicts of interest. We launched that a couple of months ago. And we actually worked with John Keeney on this. He actually came to the launch. So there are issues. This is just one specific example, but they've cropped up elsewhere in the public service from time to time.
Yeah.
So that's really saying on it.
Thank you, Deputy Chair.
Chairperson, I raised this in the first place, and it really was to ensure that, from a value for money point of view, that the best people serve on all boards, not just the fire authority. And that has been an issue in other committees as well, as Trevor well knows. Ensuring that the people who will scrutinise, ask the questions, dot the I's and cross the T's are in place. In this particular case, that didn't happen. And without wishing to go into any great detail on it, I do think that the correspondence from the Commissioner should be sent to the head of the Civil Service, because I have no doubt that this impacts across different departments. It's not peculiar, I suspect, to the Health Department alone. And hopefully the result will be that there will be a process in the future where candidates applying for public appointments are deemed to be suitable, that where legal and possible they are not the multiplier type who are serving on a whole variety of boards, and in every case they actually do their job, which is to ask questions, scrutinise and assist in the formulation of policies and strategies, and avoid the kind of embarrassments that have come up in recent times, particularly in relation to regional development, where we had the guesstimate for the upgrade of the Belfast Derry Railway, something like £26 million less than the reality. In this case, the applicant was a permanent employee of the fire service in a previous life, when this committee had to deal with some very unsavoury goings-on in that department, and it certainly caused me concern that that person was now actually on the board making decisions about what should happen to reform and change the fire service. And I have to qualify that statement by saying I have the highest admiration for the people who actually drive the tenders, put out the fires, deal with the road accidents. I'm talking purely about senior management and the problems that they inflicted on the authority. I have every confidence that a lot of that's in the past, but this certainly was not a good appointment, and that was the reason for it, for speaking to the Commissioner in the first place. But I'm happy if the letter is forwarded to the head of Civil Service, and obviously he will understand what needs to be done.
Okay, any other members? So members, can I seek an agreement to forward this on to the head of Civil Service and
Just
the department?
to strike me, I can't remember exactly what the information was that was withheld, but if you were seeking employment somewhere and you do not disclose relevant information, your employment itself becomes questionable, whether or not you have not honoured the employment process, the selection process. Is there anything of that nature in this regard?
Code of practice, I think you would tell you have to.
I think
Well, I think it's a two-sided thing. It's up to an applicant to disclose relevant information, and then it's also up to a panel to actually explore any issues and ask the right questions.
So you're feeling as much there? Okay.
So I think there's
I think Chairperson, paragraph 3.38D, I think sets out very clearly, Roy, how critical it is that anyone applying for public appointments is asked questions, and that the independent adjudicators on the interview panel are also aware of information which could impact on that particular appointment. None of that happened here, and that's the serious part of it.
Okay.
Okay, members, seek an agreement to forward correspondence to Head of Civil Service, Mr Malcolm McKibben, and Department of Health. Agreed.
Agreed.
Thank you, members. Members, for the remaining item of business today, we have to move into close. Can I get an agreement to move into closed? Agreed. Thank you.
Assembly, Committee Room 29. This is the Northern Ireland Assembly, Committee Room 29.